Last time on Queen Bee of the Ball, Travel Edition. We left Greece and went straight to Dubai where we had an exhilarating time, and I'm so glad you joined me. If you didn't see that video, you need to go back and check that one out. Because today we are off to new adventures on a whole new continent. That's right, guys. We are going to Cape Town, South Africa. Let's go. So my husband and I embarked on our journey at the Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport and trekked over 8,000 miles to the continent of Africa, Cape Town, South Africa to be exact. And several meals, naps, audiobook listens, and video streams later, we made it to our destination.
About fasten while seated in case of unexpected drop air.
So you may know that Africa is the motherland, but honey, Cape Town is known as the mother city. Oh, and it felt so wonderful to breathe in the air and touch ground in the mother city of Cape Town, South Africa. So we stayed on 3 on Camps Bay, a boutique hotel, while we were there with wonderful hospitality, and this was our view each morning and night. It was wonderful. So we got there in the evening and we were famished. So we walked along Cape's Bay Beach and found the cutest, quaint, live fire restaurant with one of the most coveted terraces on Camps Bay Beach. It was called Zinzero. And that's where we had our very first meal on the continent that evening. And of course, we had to end with a celebratory toast. So when I woke up the very next morning, that view you saw from the room is Camps Bay Beach. And I had to get my feet on that sand and on that land, taking the ocean. Camps Bay Beach is one of the longest stretches of white sand along Camps Bay there. And it is just really a great destination. It kind of gives a South Beach, Miami feel for for folks who are in North America. Speaking of which, Cape Town knows how to party. They love to get down and celebrate with live music and socialization. And one of our favorite spots was Mojo Market. It's such a cool hangout when you want to just go and grab a bite to eat or do a little shopping, listen to live music. We did all of those things there. I caught some of the most beautiful sunsets while eating at Mojo Market. I think you're going to see a couple of those in the video a little later. And speaking of markets, I met the sweetest sister here at Mojo Market, and her shop was on and popping. I patronized it a few times, and I actually needed something to cover up my shoulders a little bit. You'll see this scarf that I was adorning a couple of days there in South Africa because we were there in July, but know that our July in North America is their winter. So it was a little bit cool. And guess where I was going this day? I was so excited because I was going to sip some wine all day on the wine tram. That's right. I went out to wine country in Cape Town and, honey, had a wonderful time visiting several vineyards. It was, first of all, so gorgeous to take in. And the wine tasting and the pairings were top notch. Remember, I need to tell you about Biltong. Remember that, okay? You'll see maybe some Biltong later on. I'll tell you what that is. And in the meantime, take in the beautiful sights that we saw on the wine tram.
So where are you guys from?
We're from the U.S. of
Your first
America.
time in South Africa?
Yes.
Are you enjoying your first time?
Love it.
Very nice.
So this Franschhoek wine tram, and hopefully I'm saying that right, Franschhoek Valley, it was absolutely gorgeous. This was our first stop and our first winery on the wine tram experience. And and you'll see that we get happier and happier as we go along. So this quaint cabin-like winery stop was the second stop. I love this pairing the best. It was chocolate and wine. They also had biltong. I told you I was going to tell you about in wine, which is like a beef jerky. My husband was tearing that up, but you can get it in all different flavors. Yeah, we had a good time at that. The third stop was by far one of my favorite of them all. It had a beautiful aesthetic. It was filled with artisans, sculptures from African artisans, and the nature of it all was just so gorgeous. So we took it all in. I really walked the grounds and took my time looking at all of the art while we were at this particular winery. And we grabbed some bites. All of the wineries had different things on the menu to take in. So we ate kind of light here because the next stop we were going to eat a larger lunch. It was about this time the happy kicked in from all of the wine tasting, as you can see. Wine and lunch. We met a lovely dad and his two daughters who had roots from Zimbabwe and were traveling there by way of New Zealand. And we were chatting it up anyway, so they winded up sitting down and we had lunch together. It was a lovely experience. One of the daughters was a dancer, and you'll see a little clip here where we made up a little 8-counter choreography. It was so cute, and they were such a wonderful, sweet family. It was nice meeting some new folks to share the winery experience with us. And off we went back to the hotel to prepare for the next day's adventure. The next day took us to the V&A waterfront, which is a bustling harbor with shops, entertainment, and, well, I can show you better than I can tell you. And what's a waterfront without a boat ride? If you're at the V&A waterfront, do get a boat and get on the water. Needless to say, I felt right at home at the V&A waterfront and could have stayed there forever. The Queen was definitely home. But it was time to get dolled up just a little bit and go out for a night of dining with my love. I could not get enough of the sunsets in Cape Town. Y'all see it? It was God's filter. I mean, lavender, coral, and amber. Oh my. Take me back to Cape Town. Yeah. Ooh. Then it was time to step on the wild side at the Aquila Private Game Reserve for a safari day, of course. Here, they know how to do safari. They do safari right. Check it out. Look closely and tell me which animal you're hoping to see on this safari, because you going to? Yeah, don't be scared. Don't be scared. While we were driving along, we actually saw a sleeping hippo. Not to be disturbed, because did you know that hippos were one of the most deadliest mammals, and they unalive several humans every year? So sleep on, hippo. Sleep on. And there's Rafiki. This baby rhino was so adorable and was quite curious about the spectators. Here's where our tour guide decided to pass around an ostrich egg, but I passed on that, no pun intended. I'm good on that. Yeah, let's respect the animals, and the animals shall respect us, especially in their habitat. And let the church say amen. The Aquila Private Game Reserve is actually an accommodation, and the grounds are beautiful. You can stay there and go on safaris day and night, daily if you wanted to. And here I am enjoying the grounds and also with my shenanigans again. My poor husband putting up with all my shenanigans.
That's Mufasa.
That's right. You know what animal is next. You can't be in the jungle and not see the king of the jungle himself. Mufasa, Nyla, all of them were there, baby. And did I tell you that this is an open caravan? So we were up and close with the lions. and they protested a little bit. Check it out.
Basically the merch. By looking at the merch, you can see that.
I love elephants, and it was finally time to lay my eyes on these majestic creatures in the wild. It's almost time to leave the safari. Wasn't that fun? I know, but it's time for us to see what else Cape Town has in store. Let's go. I don't know about you, but I love to find a good marketplace wherever I am traveling. And the Old Biscuit Mill in Cape Town does not disappoint. I found so many goodies in this one store there at the Old Biscuit Mill. Everything from art to accessories and even some clothes. Like, I just brought home so many great things just from this one spot. You don't want to miss it. So if you've been watching, you know I love a good cup of espresso-based coffee. And wherever I go in the world, I'm going to take you to a coffee shop that I really enjoyed. This is the Espresso Lab. You can find it at Old Biscuit Mill. The drinks are like based on the periodic table, and the whole aesthetic is like a science lab. I thought it was a really cool concept for coffee. And here I am stopping for a bite to eat at the Old Biscuit Mill. Did you know that there were penguins in South Africa? Well, of course, I'm taking you to go see them. Let's go. Of course, I loved seeing the penguins, and if you go to South Africa, you need to make sure you see the African penguins too. But if you're on that side of town, make sure you go to Cape Point. It is the most southwesterly point of the African continent, so you don't want to miss it. And the sights from up there are absolutely breathtaking. Another positively, absolutely must-see, can't miss is the Museum of Contemporary Art Africa. The architecture of this place alone is, quite frankly, a work of art. It is beautiful, and it has one of the largest collections that I've ever seen. I've been in museums all around the world of Black art and art from the African diaspora. Royal ones and my fellow explorers, we are getting around the world, aren't we? I hope you enjoyed this Cape Town, South Africa video. And if you liked it, you know what to do. Like it, subscribe, and drop down in the comments and let me know what your favorite part of the trip was. Come on back because we have so much world to see. We're going to see it together. It's Bee Lachey, Queen Bee of the Ball.